Is it correct for you to go gray? What's the next correct step with your hair? And what emotions are coming up for you in the process of deciding what you want for your hair? Today's guest, Michelle, who's with me, is going to share her journey of going gray. So on today's Energy Profiling with Carol, you've been on the show previously, Michelle, and we said you'd be coming back to share where you're at with this experience. Well, it must be going well. You still have gray hair.
I still do, yep.
So we'll get into that in a minute. What'd you think of our announcement last week?
Huge. So exciting.
I saw you tag about 50 people, 50 women.
I did. I was so excited.
Why
Huge.
Why was that exciting to you? I'm just curious. I'm on the other side of this, of being the one that's kind of pushing the button and putting this out there. Why was that exciting in your mind?
Because I love it so much, and I've shared it with other people, and I don't think that they really get it, and I think that they're a little nervous to make the investment when they don't really know how amazing it is. I think it's worth way more than you're even charging, but it takes the risk away for them to even want to get interested and get into it. And I think once they do and see the value, it's huge.
Well, thank you. And it's because of your business with us in other ways that as a Dressing Your Truth online store customer, through our lifestyle membership experience, you are the reason we have been able to make this decision to open up the Dressing Your Truth course in a new before and after online course experience. So DYT is free now. And thank you for your continual support. And you've not yet shopped at the Dressing Your Truth online store or tested out the lifestyle membership, even for a month for $12.95. You could think of your other business with us as an investment in helping us continually gift the course to women. We had close to 60,000 women come to our site since we announced this. That's exciting.
Great. Super exciting.
I know. And we both have items from the Dressing Your Truth store, and I make it a point to now wear the clothes we're selling when I'm broadcasting, in my videos, wherever you see me. Most, if not everything, there's going to be items I'm wearing that are from the store because I love what we sell so much. But you've got several items on right now.
Yeah, from my waist up. Got this beautiful soft taupe top on, and it's got a really cool lace panel in the back. Running down the middle, which is just beautiful.
I didn't even see that.
Oh,
sit up! I want to see.
I don't have a shirt on.
Oh, on the T in the back. Yeah, there's a picture of that. I'm sure in the store, the back shot.
Yeah, and I love this high-low duster.
How do you like the heathered gray?
It's so beautiful.
Kind of works. Well, we're going to talk about, because I think it's an interesting phenomenon when you choose to go gray, change your hair color within your type, dramatically how that affects what you're wearing. You know, as it change up some of your preferences, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. This is in the Dressing Your Truth store. I love the option to layer without it being a traditional, more suit cut
and bulky.
Yeah, and that it's quite lightweight. It has a little bit. It's very forgiving in the size because it's a loose cut, but still has a quality of being fitted, substantial fabrication. You can learn all about what I call the 5 elements in the new before and after course where Dressing Your Truth is free. We're going to learn why I look so great in I'm calling it it's a shawl jacket, so it's a shacket.
I love
my
that.
type 3 shacket. Why I can wear a raw edge and it looks like just phenomenal on me, and why you can wear S-curves and soft fabrications, and why you're going to look just over the top 10 and better, and I would look horrible in that. And you're going to learn why those 5 elements honor your inner movement and your outer expression of beauty. It's just so life-changing. So we want you to have that. Now, my trivia question for today. Share in a comment. If you share DYT is free, who'd you share it with? Who you having fun with? Tag them. Let them know we're on the air now. That hopefully we've got some. I thank you so much for bringing new women into our community to we want all women to be a part of what we're doing so they can feel amazing about themselves. I noticed in the lifestyle, we're having it's getting just loaded with before and afters in the lifestyle private Facebook page.
Incredible.
It's just worth to join. Just you go look at all these before and afters. You're like, whoa.
They're jaw-dropping.
Yeah, some of them you're like, no way.
Yeah.
They're not even the same woman.
I know.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And you see the real women come forward. So I saw a post, someone said, I love that since dressing my truth, I no longer compare myself to other women, and I see who they are. I see them differently. I don't make judgments, or I don't think somebody looks better than somebody else. I don't even think about it.
It's like a celebration.
Yeah, it's so freeing to get rid of all that. We started that in junior high, where we felt inadequate, and we started to compare. And we started this whole beauty competition thing, and we get to just be done. And then you get to raise your daughters to never go there.
Such a blessing.
And you've got two right now in the thick of that. Your daughters are just like
both in junior
pivotal
high.
ages to have this information.
Yeah.
Don't you love seeing that with them?
It's so beautiful. It brings me to tears, really.
Yeah.
Because
Emily
I
is
didn't
how
have
old
that.
now?
She's in 7th grade. She's 12.
Yeah, she's just hitting that scene.
She's so confident in who she is. Beautiful. Maria is 14 in 9th grade.
Oh, and she's hit that next phase of high. Is she in high school now?
The 9th is in junior high in our.
So should we head
in our
there?
Area.
Yeah, night and day, man, to help change that culture that we are thrown into at these early ages of beauty as a competition, and we get to all be friends and comrades now. Go, you look
And
great.
see the beauty in everybody
So
else.
do you.
Yeah.
Thanks. We all look good.
Yep. So cool.
So my trivia question for today is it gray, Gray, or gray, Grey? Do you know the answer to that? And is there a right or wrong? Which is right? Which is wrong? Is there? Share in a comment if you know the answer. I'll announce a little bit later. So let's talk about your journey. We once this goes up on the website, you'll be able to link to Michelle's first broadcast where you were just starting the process. And you had made a decision to go gray, and you had shared how many months. You had kind of looked at that. But once you kind of got there, it moved pretty quick for you, right?
Yeah.
And so what was your main reason? Was it, I'm tired of coloring with the cost, my hair's getting damaged, I kind of want to have that look? What were the factors that were motivating to you?
I hated having to dye my hair and put chemicals on my head every two and a half to 3 weeks. I was always chasing that gray stripe. That was
The
roots.
So about every 2.5 weeks you're having to do this maintenance. But you were able to do it yourself, which
Yeah.
I guess, with that frequency, you figure out, since how long you've been doing it? How many years?
Mid-20s. So I've been doing it for about 25 years.
Oh, yeah.
Just a long time.
Yeah.
Way too long. And another thing, we talked about this in the last video, I really felt like I was doing it to hide myself because I wasn't okay with my own hair color. And I didn't want to put myself through that anymore.
Since you must have started doing it in your 20s, that was the decision you made and had never been altered. Because you weren't okay with it in your 20s.
Yeah.
It just, you hung on, that kept hanging with you. And that was so a bigger reason was just getting really authentic with yourself, which was happening in a lot of other places in your self-development.
Because of dressing your truth.
Yeah, so that was like the next big piece to now step into and go,
Yeah.
I'm going to just own this thing.
Yeah, because I felt like I want to love myself and own myself, who I am, and not cover that up. And I was doing that with my hair color. I know a lot of women love coloring their hair, which is great.
I asked Nicole how much gray I had at my last appointment. She said about 100% on the front here, and I'm a good 70 to 50 then. And so, but I had never made that decision to color my hair previously
because of a shame.
Because of a shame-based thing. I think that's a
difference.
If anything, coloring my hair and really liking the way I look and being able to do really edgy things is more about me loving myself now. To go, I don't think I turned 60 next month, and I don't think I would have made these choices without this knowledge.
Yeah, and it's a self-expression thing for you.
Yes, which is true for you then. This is self-expression for you based on how you had made the decision previously. So that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So we're both achieving the same thing.
Right.
I'm coloring for that reason. You're choosing not to because you felt it was hiding something about you.
And they're both great decisions.
And then what were the top 3 fears that came up for you, would you say, before you did it?
Looking older.
You have a type 1 husband, and he
And
is
I'm
a
older
little,
than his.
you're older than him by what, 5 years?
6.5.
Yeah, so right away you're like,
I'm like, oh, do I really want to
already
look that
looks
much
20.
older?
No.
But yeah, I had to think about that. I didn't want the attention. That was another thing.
Okay.
I was a little nervous about attention because I like being in the background. I don't like people looking at me and noticing me. I mean, I do like to be noticed, but it has to be on my terms.
Sure.
And,
You didn't want people just putting you on the spot.
yeah, like, oh my goodness, she's got great hair.
Oh, what are you
Look at
doing?
her.
It's that attention without
Yes.
preparedness and
Right.
choosing in.
Yeah,
That makes sense as a type 2, though.
yeah.
Kind of like, what? Mm-hmm. Okay. Was there another one that,
Of why I was nervous?
yeah.
I just didn't know what the process was going to look like.
So as a type 2, not having those details.
Yeah, and-
but you spent a lot of time gathering information.
I think I was also nervous to go through that whole process and then hate it and feel like, oh, I did all that work. Now I'm embarrassed and now I want to diet again, and kind of that whole situation. But I
So
think those are the big 3.
you had a lot of comment. The women that have followed you and seen, there's been a lot of favorable comment. Let's take a look at her before, where she was been coloring her hair for 25 years. Had you stayed within that similar range of your brown, dark brown?
Mostly the last few years, I had Emily put a few highlights in it because I was kind of toying with the idea. I just wanted to see what the highlights looked like. I didn't love them because to me it wasn't blended enough. It was too borderline type 3 with the because my hair pulls gold and red and stuff, and I just didn't love it.
Didn't love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had the before, and your first step then did you tell us your first phase? Like where?
In the research?
No, you did the research, you're ready to do it. Did you start with an appointment, you came around, did you just stop doing the 2.5 week?
I stopped coloring my hair. That was really hard because I saw that gray come in, and it was devastating to
it's
see
kind
that.
of a reflex
It looked
by
terrible.
now.
I didn't like that look. I had an appointment with Nicole for I think a month and a half, 2 months after I decided, and I had to wait for that. She's booked, and
right. So
I had to just wait.
From that moment you said, I'm not gonna color that. How many weeks till your appointment? Do you think, was it 4 weeks?
No, it was longer than that. I think it was a good 2 months.
Oh wow! So you had to kind of live with your because
that was in June, and I decided to stop coloring it in April. So it was 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was that the toughest phase?
So difficult.
What was that like? What, like every day
Well,
you're like having to recommit?
Yeah, when I'd put root powder on, it's kind of the dry thing. I'd try and put it on. I remember my husband and I went to California just for a little couples trip for a few days, and it's like, I can't even remember the name of it, Sonoma. I can't remember if that's where
Monterey,
we went.
that whole area.
Anyway, and it's kind of an older retirement community, and I'd see all these people with gray hair, and I was thinking, oh crap. But they're in their 70s, 80s, and for some reason it just made me feel really old. Being there with my gray and
we definitely associate gray hair with aging. In fact, you shared in our original broadcast this comment about your mother, who really had been captured by that very, at the time, cultural belief women held. I think that's why more women are going gray as we mature, because it's really kind of kicking that out of our whole belief system that, you kind of like, you've admitted you're aging, and it's like that's a sin, because we should all try and be as youthful as we can, prevent aging, and this whole message we get about aging is a bad thing, because wasn't your mom that did not, she wanted to make sure when she passed away, you share it.
As she was dying, she said, please make sure that you cover my gray hair. I don't want my gray hair showing in my casket.
Yeah. Well, I would think, too, your motivation that was compounded by the fact that your mom didn't have the opportunity for herself to free herself from that ageism stereotype of you have to prevent gray hair from showing, and this is a gift to her. So I'm not going to be bound by that, and that was motivated by what others might think of her. And you want to do what's right for you, not what you think you need to do based on others' opinions. So don't you think that fueled it a bit too? Because it's like, your mom's up there going, let that gray hair show.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I totally
More
believe
power to you. Because she was, one of her last wishes was about her hair.
Yeah.
And you understand how unfortunate that was for her to not have had an opportunity to be more understanding in her belief,
Yeah.
She just didn't have the information.
Yeah.
This culture does that to women, and I know Dressing Your Truth frees us from those cultural stereotypes. In fact, someone had put on the lifestyle, a commentary was up yesterday about age of the experts, and several women chimed in and said age is irrelevant in the Dressing Your Truth world. It really is. Where I said, age is not, and we have a broad range everywhere from, 30 to 72. We cover it very nicely in every decade.
Yeah.
And age should not be the determining factor on what you choose to do with your style or your hair. It should be, how do you want to express yourself as a woman? What do you want to do in that expression?
Yeah.
Now, in this picture, before I show it, was this after the first appointment? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's put that up. Now you had your appointment. Did you know going in what you wanted to have happen? Did you know, or were you depending on Nicole, the stylist, to now help you make decisions of what that appointment wanted to achieve?
I had an idea of what I wanted, but Nicole, being the expert, she really knew what could happen. I actually wanted to go all gray all at once because I didn't want to have to deal with the stages.
Okay.
But she knew that my hair, from dyeing so many years, she didn't think that we could get it that level in one appointment. She was right.
Because it wouldn't take it. It wouldn't set in.
Yeah.
So for someone else, is that even an option? I mean, it seems like, what, is that an option for women?
I've seen many do it in one. It's a lot harder on your hair. And I think if you have a lot of buildup with
But now it's still a color. It's still a color on your hair. It's not your gray hair.
Right.
You're just now matching so your roots aren't showing.
Right. Yeah.
So it's still keeping up a color. So she suggested, you thought you wanted to do that. She said no. So what'd she do instead?
So she lightened it. She did she did highlights, very thin highlights, to try and mimic my natural gray. And she
kind of
bleached
an ombre from the roots.
Kind of.
Lightening the coloring was a highlight.
Yeah. So she does like a weave. She does all these things a weave, so she doesn't do the whole thing bleach.
So it blends from the root.
Yeah. So it's really blendy. And then she tones it.
Let's show that picture
gray.
again, now that you've described it.
Okay.
How'd you feel about that? Did you like how it looked?
I loved it.
So that helped shift you out of the kind of the line.
It wasn't, to me, it didn't look gray. It looked more like a really soft brown, which was really, it was good for me because it eased me into it.
Yeah.
So I was ultimately
don't you think
really
that's
glad.
favorable for you?
Yeah. I was ultimately really glad that she couldn't do it all at once. Because I think I've said this later, it would have been embarrassing to show up somewhere and have everyone go, oh my goodness, Michelle's got gray hair.
Yeah, with the factor you didn't want to
stand out too much.
You didn't want to be given unexpected attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're a type 3, and we have in our lifestyle content a video that Nicole produced called How to Transition to Gray for Your Type. So she talks about each of the 4 types, what to be aware of, because with me, I'd just shave my head and there we go.
And it would look fabulous.
No, I don't know if a shaved head would look that great on me. You know what I would do? And I'm not doing this anytime soon, but the idea, I actually talked about this with her in my last appointment. Because I saw a woman that had her head shaved all around here. And this was longer, so I could still achieve the same effect. And I would let this go all gray and still color this at first.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah,
Cool.
do it, Carol. Now you have to wait about 5 years for that one. I'm still liking what I have.
I love that.
Well, it makes a difference. I mean, I'm a type 3 that can literally walk down the hall to my stylist appointment. I mean, I have some benefits here that save me time and money. And those features that type 3s are wanting to now eliminate for the reason it's just upkeep, and cost and time and the resources that we want to claim back. So is it correct for you to go gray? What are you thinking about? Sharing a comment. Have you tried it? Share after we go off live. You can share a pic if you are gray, and even a before and after would be fun to see. So sharing a comment. I had asked previously, my trivia question for the day is it gray, G-R-A-Y, or is it gray, G-R-E-Y? We'll share that in a moment, what the answer to that is. Okay, so now you've gone to this place of you've worked into it. It's now, you're okay. And you're liking it. Because you're probably in that first phase going, I don't know. So now you're like recommitted. Okay, so when's the next, what are you doing now for upkeep and when's the next appointment?
My next appointment was in August.
How many
the
weeks?
End of August.
What's the timeline we're talking about?
2 months.
Okay, so those are pretty
Another
far
2 months.
apart. So what are you doing at home?
I am doing purple shampoo, and I'm also using a silver toner on it, or a conditioner, which is kind of a color deposit, just to help keep it more smoky and not the brown and the beige, the gold that kind of wants to come in with the bleaching.
And you liked how that looked. Did you change your cut, your style, or anything now at this point?
No.
That's all the same.
Yeah.
Okay, now your hair's starting to look different. Are you noticing different colors that are going to support your hair? Because they, colors, you're wearing all type 2 colors, obviously. And I will say, Michelle's in a very favorable space, gray being one of the signature colors of a type 2. This really is a favor. This does you a lot of favors for now going gray. Did you start to notice you were choosing other colors more often than others?
Yeah, I find that I don't like the browns, the taupey colors and the browns. I love the grays and the purples and the blues, greens, just more of the
they're a little
those colors.
Yeah. So that would feature your hair differently as well. So you just tend to wear more of those now. Okay, so next appointment. Is this the next appointment?
Yeah.
Okay, let's show that one.
Yeah, that was a few weeks after, maybe a month after.
Okay.
So she did the second bleaching, very similar to the first, but she took it even lighter so that now my regrowth really blends in nicely with the hair that she bleached. So now I can just let it grow out, and I'm not going to have a big...
Is this the last appointment you had? Oh, so do you have another one coming up?
She's not going to do any more bleaching, but as far as haircuts and tone and stuff, we'll do
so
that.
now you're on your own. So enough has shifted, because can you show us now how far the roots have grown out?
Yeah, it's probably been about an inch now. I don't know if you can see that.
It's about to here. It's a little more.
The first bleaching
it's a little more
about
actually
to
than
here.
an inch. It's almost 2 inches.
The second one is there, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good 3,
Is
almost
it?
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I don't
know
think
if
you're
you
getting
can
the perspective. It's so interesting. It blends so well with what you're doing. You don't even notice it.
Yeah.
In fact, it gives a sheen to your crown of your head, which looks really pretty on you. So from when you started, that last color, no more color, to now, how many months has it been?
6.
Okay, but you've still got, so it might take a year for this whole, but you've made the alterations with your hair color to now not just have dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't want to do that. You really want to learn these steps that are correct for you, and stylists can be a big help. You actually, and I will, because you shared, you're going to share your video on this Facebook page, but you found a lot of help from a Facebook group. What is the name of that group?
It's called Gray and Proud.
Gray and Proud.
Yeah, there's so many women.
There's a lot of women on there, like in the tens of thousands or something. I mean, it's like 50,000 or something.
A lot.
But the thing that's going to make all the difference, this is going to be the foundation for any woman, is if you're not dressing your truth, if you're not putting on the correct design lines, colors, fabrications, patterns, and textures, going gray is going to you're going to be compounded in the agony, because that aging factor, when you're not putting on the right movement on your body, because the 5 elements match the expression of you. They match who you are, your natural expression. They're going to already age you. They're already going to throw you off. And going gray is going to just be, so it may not even be going gray. It could be about what's going on in the body. And especially, and we've taught this in numerous places, and Nicole really emphasizes this in all of her content that are about transitioning to gray and gray. We have some great content on great styles for each type with gray hair, because you have now upped the level of value, and your cut and style needs to be very true to your type to really allow gray to be a secondary feature.
Yeah.
Because your cut and style, because you're taking out the color factor. If you have gray hair, you're no longer coloring it. You've got to really, put value on that cut and style.
Yeah.
Which you have. So your last photo, give her a lot of hearts and likes, because she's your role model. She's your motivator today to do this. But you look queenly.
Oh, thank you.
You look so elegant. You look like a queen.
Thank you.
It's so beautiful. You love her in her gray hair. It's just it's so soft on you.
Thank you.
You don't look at you and go, oh, you've got gray hair. You don't even think of the gray.
Yeah.
Like when you look at Michelle, what do what do you notice? And you have to understand, when you're dressing your truth, and you've got a great cut and style for your hair, your gray becomes a non-factor, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just, what are your preferences for how you want to play and enjoy your hair? For me, I enjoy the color and the highlights. But I really, people don't see an older woman, they see a woman. They see a woman who has confidence. So gray doesn't become this feature. It's not like a feature at all. It becomes a side note.
Yeah.
Has anyone said anything? Like your fear of drawing attention?
I haven't noticed that I've stood out, or I've gotten compliments. Everyone says, oh, not everybody, but I've had several people say, I really like your hair. I'm like, oh, thanks.
And then, do you think you look older than your husband?
Not more than before. I feel like I look less harsh, actually.
I think so, too.
Because the dark, it was too harsh for me.
Yeah.
It was not a good look, and I thought,
well, no,
I thought it was great. I mean, it was
we're
fine,
going to
but
show,
I just feel like this is better.
In a couple of weeks, we have a show where we're going to show the experts before and afters. This is where you looked harsh. Just so you know.
Wait for, you're going to die.
It's pretty interesting.
Very interesting.
Wait do you see Jalea's before? I'm like, who is that? So let's show all 4 pics side by side. And I will say on that, I can show you right here, this comparison. This looks a little fabricated, the dark.
Right.
This looks so you, the progression of coming in. So you've achieved your primary goal, as your authentic self is expressing.
Yes.
How's that feel to let go of that you think you have to color your hair every 2.5 weeks?
It feels really good. I'm really surprised, but it feels really good.
Now, your kids, because, you've got 12 to 19, 18. Were they like, I don't want to have an old-looking mom? Did they weigh in on this? Did you invite their feedback? You don't look that, but did that come up for them,
It did, yeah. I told them what I was thinking. I said, what do you think? And several of them were like, oh, I don't think so, especially my youngest daughter, my type 3. She's like, oh, no. And I said, well, I hate to tell you, when I decided for sure, I said, I'm going to do it. And she loves it. She really loves it. I said, do you like it better before? And she's like, nope, I like this better.
That's good. Yeah.
So, well, good, because
gray hair's trendy. You see a lot of 20 and 30-year-old women paying a lot of time and money into doing what you're now getting away from to get the look.
Yeah.
So it is kind of a trending thing.
It is.
You can get, if you have gone through, we highly recommend that you've gone through the now free Dressing Your Truth before and after course, that you can get a hair consultation from Nicole. And that is on our site. I think you have to go to the bottom of the page and you can click on that, and it's $69, but you want exact specific advice. This is where you get the color, cut, and style for you. She's amazing.
She is.
I've only read testimonials and reviews of her consultations that have been 5-star. Everyone loves them. So check that out on the website. hairconsult.liveyourtruth.com. 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 We have the answer. We're going to take open to Q&A right now. You got a question for Michelle or me? And in the meantime, the answer to today's trivia, is it gray or is it gray? G-R-A-Y, G-R-E-Y.
In the U.S., it's G-R-A-Y. Elsewhere in Europe, G-R-E-Y.
All right, so we can just remember A for
America?
Well, I always think of America as a lot bigger than the United States because it's Canada, and so I don't want to claim America, but I will remember it by that. So, yes, I remember G-R-A-Y because I mix them up all the time, and I'm like, what is correct? And actually, I think Tim brought that to my attention recently. One, it's just spelled different in different countries.
Yeah, it's like color.
So they both are. I bet a lot of you got that right anyway, because you can just Google it while I'm talking to you. It's not too hard to find an answer. Yeah, my index for my life, Google. So, Daria, Michelle, you look great. I wore that exact outfit yesterday.
Yay.
Oh, and G-R-E-Y is also in Australia. Michelle, you look amazing. I love your hair.
Thank you.
I took the plunge and went gray a year and a half ago. My hair is so much softer, and it was when I was coloring it. Is there one of the... Here's a question. Is there one of the 4 types more white than gray or gray? Yeah, type 4s will have a silver to white, a stunning quality. That's actually something that's very telling for a type 4. They have this, it can be a high shine silver or a white, goes to white. Now type 1s can get white gray, but it pops differently. It can, like Marcy has quite a bit of gray, but it's a white gray, but it blends quite nicely with her blonde. So it leans towards a warming, more of a warm energy than a cool. But yours is a very softened gray. I think type 3s look kind of a wiry gray. Ours has the least flattering to our movement because we don't have gray in our palette, and gray has a very... it's a conflicting color for us, so you've really got to work with toners, and that's where you want to learn based on your type, your kind of hair, what toners you need, what products can benefit the look you're going for, because you using the toners and the shampoos has made a huge difference in your own maintenance. So we don't have all of those specifics, but this content is very robust online. You found it?
So many things out there.
Yeah. But consider your type and remember your movement, and remember that type 1 and 3 have a warmer energy in our expressive selves. We aren't talking about skin color or any of that. It's just our energy has a warmer quality to it. Type 2 and type 4 has a cooler quality to the energy, and I have actually videos on referencing how we experience the feel of a person, and not, we tend to think warm's better than cool, but it's not. It's just a quality of our beingness, and I have content in the lifestyle material that you can learn more about that I teach. Pam asked, transitioning to gray was the reason I found UIT. I need to find a color palette that worked. Oh, so thank you. That's a comment from Pam. Darcy, are you using a flat iron to curl your hair? How do you keep it so healthy looking?
I do use a flat iron.
So do you have any curl? Any wave, any curl?
Oh, yeah. I have naturally curly hair, and for years I was wearing it that way. This is funny, too, because I felt like I had to wear it naturally curly because I had natural curl. And a few years ago, I just thought, I like it better with flat iron. I didn't like the natural, and I let go of the guilt and thought, I'm just going to do what I want to do. I don't care if people think, oh, she's flat ironing her hair. She's not wearing it natural. I mean, I doubt I would have gotten that, but I let go of the shame or the shoulds. I should be doing this. Thought, I don't care. I'm going to do it.
So how often are you shampooing?
I shampoo maybe once a week, and then I'll
hardly at all.
I'll use conditioner.
The moisturizing,
the minty
cleansing conditioner.
Cleansing conditioner.
Love that. I use
do
that
too. Yeah.
intermittently between shampoo and conditioners. That we sell that. It's our cleansing conditioner.
So every few days I'll do a shampoo, and the other few days I'll do the cleansing conditioner. And I always use conditioner after. And it is damaged from the bleach for sure.
Yeah.
But
do you use a flat iron on a daily basis to kind of?
Usually I'll touch up my bangs or do a few curls around.
We have content on that as well. What is the name of the gray hair group again? The Facebook group.
Gray and Proud.
Gray and Proud.
Gray and Proud.
Michelle, I love your hair. It is hard. Is it hard to maintain?
The gray color?
Yeah, compared to what what's your maintenance program right now?
Boy, it's a whole lot easier than 2.5, 3 weeks dyeing.
We surely aren't coming to appointments as often. You know, your appointments are, especially if you had a stylist coloring your hair, you really get a lot of space between those.
Yeah.
Now, some of the cut like mine, I have to just for cut and style reasons every 4 weeks just to maintain the particular style I have.
Yeah.
That's required, but.
So once a month, I will do a color deposit conditioner that's gray. It deposits a little bit of gray. Or when I come in for a haircut, I'll have Nicole do a silver tone on it just to keep the warmth out of my hair.
So you just use a product on your own. Do you every time you shampoo?
No, just maybe once a month just to keep the gray.
Hardly at all.
Yeah. And it's super
So it
easy.
holds it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't see any root effect right now. You don't see this looks like.
Yeah, it's not it's mostly just when the toner washes out and you get more of the beigey, yellowy.
Yeah.
So.
Sue says, I went gray about 2 or 3 years ago exactly because I was tired of being judged by how young we are supposed to look. I love my gray hair and get compliments on it all the time.
It's interesting. I think it's a mind shift because I never used to think gray hair was beautiful until I started really noticing these women that had gray hair when I started thinking about it. And I see so much beauty in the gray.
Yeah.
To where instead of being a shameful thing, I just see beauty.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really switched this belief that your mom had been captured by. Again, no fault to her. It's a byproduct of a lot of us just not, we're really owning our uniqueness now as women. Your mother didn't have that chance like we do.
Yeah.
Any others? You have a lot of sisters. So anybody else that's gone gray?
My oldest sister said, "You're the guinea pig. I'm going to see what happens with you." She's a type 3. So she wants to see how I do.
She's got like lion's mane hair, man. She could
She's
rock
got
it.
Red, yeah.
She could rock it with this crazy,
Yeah, she could even put in a little.
Can do.
Yeah, she could even put in a little.
She could do
toner,
purples and reds.
streaks.
She could have gray with just like wild mane.
Yeah.
She's got great type 3 lion's mane hair. It's big and full and just. She should do it. She does. You have to send us a photo.
I will.
Yeah.
That'd
be odd. But the others are.
The youngest, who's a type 3, she's going gray, but she dyes it, and then the other 2 don't really have much gray.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah.
So let's look. We've been promoting our starter kits because when you go through the Dressing Your Truth course, you want these tools in the before and after course. You really want these tools to give you that huge advantage because I guarantee you'll make mistakes in your purchases without these tools. So these are only $49, and you'll get your style guides that have, and you get all 4 for all types. So let's do something here.
plus it comes with the book as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does come with the book,
That's
and it,
big,
it allows you, because depending on your entry point now, if you just go through the Dressing Your Truth course, you won't have the more sophisticated background on energy profiling, which I think is really essential to your sustainability of this information. You have to understand energy profiling is what DYT is built on, that the 4 types are just in understanding them. So I was the one, as we were crafting the support kit, that said, we really need to give people this advantage to the benefit of this information because it's so life-changing.
I'm glad.
We still sell the Chow Whisper. That's that's another piece you can add to the journey, which most people do. But It's Just My Nature is the book that teaches you the model of the 4 types. So let's look at you've got your style guide here, and now we can, your hair just goes so beautifully with that. And this has all of the most critical reminders from the before and after course on the back. You take that. And these pattern guides, let's play with this for a minute.
Those are so cool.
This is a fun thing that you could even, play with hair, because you're actually, both these can give you some benefit to hair. Aren't those great? I love these.
I do too.
Ann and I just produced the how to use it video, and we had a lot of amazing things to say about how these actually, how this gives more life to the color side of the style guide. It makes the color thing easier.
Yeah, it does. I love
Very
too that it's got
fascinating.
colors on the back.
Yeah,
as
so you
well,
can
so
like
you can just
flip it.
take these with you.
And you can see mine. So, if I were to go gray, I'd work with it in, I'd probably bleach, I'd probably do some stuff that this would all work for me, because you've got. So, and if you are a previous course customer, you can just add, because you've already received your 4 style guides and your 4 mini guides. You can just get, if you don't care about this handy dandy carrier, I don't know, if I were like, I said, I hope everyone's like my husband is with Apple. Just because they made it, he buys it. But we have had a lot of people do that. We've shipped a lot of these out since they went on sale. But you can purchase just the pattern guides for $29 for a limited time till the 21st of this month. But these are amazing tools. It's one of those things you're like, why didn't we think of this 5 years ago? I don't know. Things evolve.
I love having all 4 style guides as well.
That was it. We made that decision. What was that, last year?
Yeah, I was really happy about that.
And now that we have our online learning experience to be so succinct, because there is this misunderstanding that somehow you have options with all 4. You have to know, you lead with your color. You always choose your color. You don't vary from that. You can mix up your other 4 elements, design, line, texture, fabrication, and pattern a little bit because of your secondary, and we teach you how to do that in our lifestyle content, but color is your base, man. You're always going to look best in your type's color. So those are on sale, and so excited for women to have this tool in their hands so you can, especially if you're going gray, you really want to just get the rest of this in place, because you're not going to like your gray hair as nearly as much if you're not dressing your truth. It's going to throw it.
Yeah.
So you had that huge benefit going in, and you probably see that in the Facebook group that you're in, because they don't, and you're going, it's not the hair.
I've seen several women.
It's the color or the clothes you have on.
Yeah, I've shared the link with several women in the past and said, why don't you check this out? Because they've said,
Now
I
it's
don't know
super
what to
easy to
do.
share it.
I know, now it's free. No excuses now.
I love that. So we want to help all the women that want to go gray and don't think they can.
Yeah, you can.
Because it just should
can.
not be an aging factor in your life, because you got the other pieces in place, it won't be. All right, so your flat iron hair looks so polished, beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, it's just always a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks, I love being here.
It's been just fun to watch you in your journey, and I've never thought you looked like somebody talked about. And you'll be nicer about it. No, you've never, and you've been on camera so much in this process. You didn't even tell us, hey, you guys are gonna I gotta go off till I get this thing. You've been willing to be vulnerable. It's funny, one of your things
I'm
was,
super vulnerable.
I don't want anybody to notice me. I'm like, hi, 10,000 people.
Yeah.
But I know your motives have been you want to help other women.
I do,
Get you don't want to be bound by the shoulds. Or the have-tos.
Yeah.
And
It's
for
exhausting.
25 years, you thought you should and had to color your hair. You're saving them. What are you doing with this extra cash? You should use
I'm
it.
going traveling, man.
That's right. You're leaving real soon
I'm
here.
getting fun clothes.
Well, I didn't ask this. What's your husband think?
He actually really likes it.
Does he like it?
Yeah, I was surprised
Was
because
he nervous at all? Or he's a very supportive guy, though. He's like, honey,
he's the best.
whatever
Yeah.
you want,
Yeah, I think deep down he was a little nervous, but of course he would never tell me. And I asked him, not too long ago. I said, "So, what do you really think of my hair?" And he said, "I really like it. I think it looks really nice
Yeah,
on
he's
you."
being honest with you, too.
Oh, yeah, he would.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, in a
even
nice
though
way.
he's always looking at the positive in life, he would have let you know. He's probably surprised
I
that he
think
liked
so.
it as much as, because he was probably a little bit curious about that.
Yeah.
So, thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. DYT is free now. Thank you. You're the reason we're helping so many women. You're the reason this message is getting out there, that we want the women of the world to no longer be bound by the shameful stereotypes of beauty and fashion, that you're free as a woman to look your best every day, to feel good about who you are, and to really allow yourself now to go into the world and share your gifts, because you're not worrying about coloring your hair, and you claim back that energy, you claim back that resource of self, and you get to use it for other purposes. And yeah, I know in your life, you're really, your children are in a massive transition right now, moving into their teen and adult years. Big step for you, you know.
Yeah.
I'm the type 3 mom that's like going, when you moving out? No. More time.
I'm like, no, don't.
I know, I'm like, really? No, of course, but I'm just all about that next phase. I'm good with change, but that's you're a little more sensitive to that. You're you're very much a homebody. If you're not here, you're there a lot most of the time, or you're running the kids around or helping them out. But so you're moving into a big shift in the next 6 years. So good for you for now really getting you back. So that's going to be easier in 6 years, because you've already navigated through that identity, that identity piece. Now it's just as an empty nester, I'll tell you, might take you 6 to 8 months. Took me about 2 to 3. You're like, that's pretty good. I kind of like this.
That's what I hear, but we'll see.
They stay in touch these days real easily. So it's great. Thanks for watching, everyone. And thanks again. Tag a friend, share with someone. DYT is free. Let's help change another woman's life today and let her see the truth. Support her in seeing the truth of who she is, to embrace the beauty of her inner self and her outer appearance. I almost forgot this. I'm so glad I didn't. We have our live makeover. I'm so excited to tell you this. We have our live makeover Thursday. And guess who the live makeover is? Do you know?
Who?
You don't know? Remember Kate?
Oh, yes.
Remember Kate? From 3-4 weeks ago?
I'm so excited to see that.
Kate, who spontaneously, with literally 45 minutes notice, came on the show several weeks ago. And she had decided she was a type 2, and on the air, I very politely, some were had a little different opinion about that, but she understood the experience, because we didn't have time for me to get into a lot of dialogue about it or have her give me all the reasons I wasn't. I just had to explain to her why I knew she was a type 3. And she submitted, and I'm like, this is perfect. Kate is coming in. She's flying in, and we are going to help her bring to life her type 3 look. And I'm going to share more about why she couldn't own the 3-ness. Why it was a challenge based on some misunderstanding she has about type 3 energy. And isn't that exciting? Who's excited to see Kate come alive in her type 3? Because many of you saw it in that interview. You could see it in her face. And I was glad I didn't forget.
Yeah,
yay!
That'll be fun to see.
So tune in. We'll be going live at 10:30 a.m. Thursday with the part 1, the before. We do it in a 2-part segment when we do the show. So thanks everyone for tuning in today. We'll see you Thursday with Kate.